Good morning, Bob Price here. Anyway, what this video was about is I had a colleague at work ask me about the beginnings of my videos. She said, I like your videos, but what's going on with that woman on the sailboat at the beginning of the videos? So I was talking to her in text, and my response to her is what I will tell you also, is originally you just follow your intuition. Creativity and intuition go like hand in hand together. When I'm creating the videos, it's not like something's coming down every second and telling me, do this, do that. Your creativity goes in there and you just kind of follow the flow. So at first when I was putting that beginning together, I thought, well, that's really cool with the women on the sailboat, and I wanted to have it lead into the woman where she's opening her eyes, because it's talking about opening your eyes to intuition. And she's my symbol that I use for my videos about intuition. So it's all circling around that. But what was interesting is I had completely forgotten about this dream that I had when I was getting divorced, and this was a long time ago, like in the year 2000. So a long time before now, but that was the very first intuitive experience that I had, was through this dream. I've had several dreams since, and I've talked about this before, but this is important because this answers the question we're talking about in this video. So I told her about having this dream where I was on this 20-foot sailboat, and there's sand all over the sailboat, and there's another woman, she's in her 40s, I believe. In the dream, she was in her 40s, and she had kind of like short ash brown hair, and I didn't know who she was. And I thought, well, she must be one of the people that work for the sailboat place, So I was just talking with her, and I said, oh, all this sand that's on the boat all over the place, are you guys going to have somebody come in here and clean it up? And she looks at me and she says, you're going to clean it up. You are. And then I woke up out of the dream, and I was thinking, why am I responsible for cleaning up this mess on this ship? It's not even my sailboat or anything. And that dream was a dream about taking responsibility. It was a dream about, if you want to get on with your life, whether it be a breakup or a divorce or anything, you need to get with it and address it directly. So I was thinking about it, and that is what I remembered, oh yeah, I had that dream. And then it dawned on me again, just like it did with the sailboat. She's the woman that's at the beginning of my video. She's there for a reason. She's not just there because it was cool to put her there. There was a reason why I put her there. And then I thought, wow, it's really interesting how intuition works, because a lot of times intuition works where it's giving you something, and then later you realize why you got it, but it's kind of like the cart before the horse type thing. Now, I'm not putting this video on a short because I've talked a lot about the dream on other shorts, and I really wanted you to have the experience and the knowledge from start to end that explains why the woman is at the beginning of my videos. So if I can, I'm always going to put her at the beginning of my videos, because she's important, because it's really key to me. One of the main things about my channel is I want you to be able to get in touch with your intuition, and I want to do what I can to help with that. I'm also going to put other topics on there. Yesterday I put up a topic that I know most of you aren't interested in, and that was about how to get these get glasses that don't have all these out of focus areas. If you're younger, you don't need to worry about this anyway, but as you get older and you have to get reading glasses and stuff, it's a real pain because you have to take glasses off and put them back on. So sometimes I'll have a video that I'll put up like that, but for the most part, everything is going to be about intuition. It's going to be about tips. I've got tips. I've got a psychology background. So I will be talking about how do you deal with breakups? What do you do after you're broken up? You know, you get to a point, they say that you should wait a year when you're broken up with somebody before you start making any moves because you need time to heal. But once you get to that point, you're looking at a wall, and that wall is your future because you really don't know how to get past that wall. Sometimes you may have been in a marriage for like 10, 15 years, and you weren't dating for all that time. You don't really know what to do socially, and you're feeling awkward. And the world has changed from what it was before to what it is now. Everything is changing fast. So we're dealing with a lot of change. Plus, there's a lot of negativity out there. People are gun shy now, and what I mean by gun shy is they're afraid to get into a relationship. They don't want to go through the trauma. They don't want to go through a breakup. They don't want to go through a divorce. They'd rather just be by themselves alone. And why? Because they feel safer that way. You know what? Even though they may feel lonely, they still would rather have that than go through all that trauma again. So that's what the message is for the video today. And I will be talking about some of these issues like the breakups and stuff. That seems to be a really popular issue. So I'm going to be putting more video content up here about that. And if you want to see something else, talk to me in the comments. You know what? When I get a comment, I really go through it and I'll analyze it, and I will give you a lot of good input if you take the time to put in something in there. And if you have a chance, give me a like. If you don't, that's okay. But, you know, it does help it so that I can improve my ratings with YouTube, so that hopefully, eventually, I can get into the next level, which will be okay or not okay. It doesn't matter to me. It's not like I'm going to be devastated if I don't, because this is not my business. I'm doing this to help you. I'm doing this to make a difference. And I think one of the important things is you've got to give. You can't always be taking, you can't always be saying, I want this, I want it now. Why can't I find my true love? I want it now. I want to meet him now. I want to go to the store and I want to meet him now. You've got to be able to, the way that the universe works is when you start giving of yourself and doing something, that's when the universe starts helping you with some of the things like that. Because it's all about balance. It's all about this circle of life, this karmic circle that we live in. Play it forward. You've heard that. That's a pretty popular thing. Why does it matter? Well, play it forward. I'm telling you, every time I do something good for anybody, like opening a door for somebody, it always comes back to me. That's not why I'm doing it, though. But that's just what happens. It always comes back to me. Anyway, I hope you like this video, and I will talk to you on the next one.